Thank you so much. Thank you. And welcome to the stunning new Waldorf Astoria here in Costa Rica. This property literally opened 2 months ago today. Newest luxury property in Costa Rica. It's rare that a luxury property opens. We had Nikui opening a few months ago, which we just stayed at, and now we're here at the newest one, the Waldorf. But this is the arrival area. When you first arrive, you get to come into this grand entrance. It has a very traditional check-in desk here, where you sit down and you have a sit-down check-in, unlike some other luxury resorts where you do the check-in in the room or the villa. Right when you enter, we have the little seating areas here, but it's beautifully landscaped and designed, so the focal point is on the amazing view. This property is amazing as well as because we have a view of these incredible islands in the distance looking out into the ocean, which just adds that much beauty and just luxury and amazing awe to staying here. So I can't wait to show you the rooms, the resorts. We're just here one quick night, but I'm going to show it all to you to the best I can. Let's take a look here at one of the newest luxury resorts in the world. All right, and welcome to our room. This is one of the ocean view rooms with the 2 queen beds. We have these really cool room keys that actually have the design of the property on the key. We're on the 3rd building, 4th floor, room number 6. That's how the room numbers work. Come on in. This is one of their best views. Great, and welcome to our room. This is a first look as the property literally just opened 2 months ago today. We got the 2 nice queen size beds. I love the design. I love how there's wood on all the walls. It's just really stunning. You even have this like wicker material behind the beds, which is very slightly transparent into the bathroom, which is just right behind the beds. It's a really cool design. I love the headboards, how that extends to the ceiling. We also have the logo of Waldorf Astoria embedded into the pillows. That is very special, very premium. I love the lighting fixture. We even have like this marbling here. Really expensive materials that were used. You can just really feel the quality. I also love there's the carpeting around the bed, and then we have the hardwood floor. The only thing missing, of course, is like an ottoman in front of the bed, but it's still very nice. Over here we have the whole mini bar area with a coffee machine here. It looks like it does the pods, but definitely a little bit of a different brand. We have the kettle, ice bucket, and then down below we have all kinds of cups, teas, and then the pods for the coffee machine, drinks down below there. And then over here we have different snacks for purchase, and then down below some cups. Over here we have like the little nook, which has this really cool pendant lamp. I just love that. It kind of blends the room together. It just adds a lot to the side versus just having a flat wall. We also have this art piece behind here. They have a whole fruit welcome amenity with some drinks and a note welcoming us. This is actually a note from the Ritz-Carlton where we just came from, letting us know they're sorry to see us go, but welcoming us here to the Waldorf, which is just huge level service. Two chairs, and then the best feature, of course, is going to be the balcony. I believe every room at this property does have a balcony like this, and from what I could see driving by in the cart, every room outside here did have a tub, which is just really awesome because you're in the tub out on your patio with a view, and this is one of their better views, the ocean view. So we not only have ocean view, but we're also this front building, so we're looking at all the pools. They said they have about, I think it was 10 or 12 pools, something like that, but you can see them all right here. So that's really cool. They're kind of all in one big area. They also have one pool a little farther away by the spa, by the fitness center. That's the only other one. But this one even has a slide you can see, just really beautifully designed. The landscaping is still filling in because it was just built, but we are in rainy season right now, so everything is starting to green up. We also can see the islands out there in the distance, which is just a stunning view. We also have some very nice, thoughtful furniture out here with really unique design. I love it. A huge seating kind of day bed outside, and then we do have the like rock flooring, the stone. We do have standard railing here, which is, it's okay. I kind of feel like it could have been like really cool, like glass. And it's also, the design makes it look like a little rusty. It's not rusty, but it's just kind of like the vibe they're going for, I guess. The bathroom connects right inside there, so you can walk out from the shower straight to the tub, but it's kind of cool how it's all connected. Now let's take a look at the bathroom. Now, mostly all the rooms are going to be about this size. The difference with the king rooms is it is going to have a king bed and then like a little like table chairs thing there. The only flaw that I can see in the room is definitely this right here. When you're in bed, who's ever in this bed does not have a view of anything, just of a flat wall. So they definitely could have maybe done another pendant lamp here, maybe like a really cool countertop here to put your luggage on with a design. But this is very ugly in my opinion, I'm being honest. They definitely could have done something better here, or continued at least this wood wall over here. They went a little bit cheap on that. Over here we have a little nook. I guess this is a seating area, but for most people just going to be a place to put your bag. We also have a mini luggage rack. We have the closet here, and now this property does have the robes that we're used to that are actually fluffy robes. So they're not super fluffy. I give these a medium score, like a 5 out of 10. They're a bit coarse, not super plush, but they're a lot thicker than the ones at the Ritz. And then we do actually have the slippers that we're used to as well. Although these ones here are very thin, I give these a very low score. They're extremely thin there. They are soft, but they definitely could have been like branded WA and had been a lot thicker. So the slippers are very, very thin, but at least they have the soft slippers, while the Ritz did not have any at all. They just had like the flip-flops. Inside here we have the toilet. This is really cool because it's all wood here. So when you go inside it's a little more bare, but it is, I like this wood tones. Over here we have another closet space. So we have that closet space. This one closet is nicely lit, and it has, you know, just the design is really nice. Now here we are in the bathroom. This does slide here. So if we want more privacy, this slides closed. Bathroom design is very nice. We have the 2 sinks, we have the mirror, and I like the different tones. We have the wood, and then we have the stone backdrop, and then we have the mirrors in front, and then it's surrounded by the wood paneling that goes even over the ceiling. So this feels very luxurious. Glass waters, soaps, the really nice fluffy rugs, all the towels over here, so really beautifully designed. And then over here we have shower. There's actually 2 rainfall showers, which is amazing. I've never seen that, so I'm guessing they both go at the same time. So rainfall shower, you're looking out there at the view and your bathtub. And then if you want privacy, this does close a shade all the way down. But they even have a little stool in here, and then all the body soaps here look like this. So bathroom setup is very nice. It feels very luxurious for a standard size room. This is beautiful. This property doesn't really have a ton of larger rooms. They do have some suites, but none with the 2 beds. All of the suites are just going to be the 1 king bed with like a living area to the side. But even then, they don't compare to like the room we had at the Ritz. But I'm still really happy we decided to stay here. It's still a brand new property. I can't wait to experience the pools. We will be able to have dinner here and breakfast, so I will be able to show you those experiences. But let's check out this incredible luxury resort. Welcome to the Waldorf Astoria Costa Rica Punta Cacique, a clifftop hideaway set above Playa Penca on the Punta Cacique headland in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. It's the brand's debut in Costa Rica, part of Hilton's push to grow its luxury footprint across the Caribbean and Latin America. Getting here is easy. The resort sits roughly 17 to 18 miles from Liberia Airport. The drive ranges from about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on the traffic and route. This property is down a little bit farther south than the Peninsula Papagayo, where the Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons, and Andaz properties are that we stayed at. It's about an hour drive from those resorts because you basically have to go from that peninsula up north all the way back inland and then down and then out again to this peninsula, which is a little bit further south. They're also building some other resorts in this location across the way from the Waldorf. They're actually right now building a one and only resort. The architecture here is terraced into the cliff, so every turn frames the Pacific. There's multi-level pools stepping down towards the beach, native landscaping, and indoor and outdoor spaces that pull the ocean breeze straight through the public areas. You'll even spot the iconic Waldorf Astoria clock anchoring the central gathering zone. Small touch, but it's actually something known to the Waldorf brand, which I will share later. Hilton describes this opening as a strategic move, introducing Waldorf Astoria to a high-demand destination while expanding its luxury presence in the region. This site selection, perched between bays with unobstructed sunset views, lets the design team lean into those cliffside panoramas and create that signature tiered pool journey from lobby terrace all the way down to the beach. The property, we were told, has about 13 pools total. Most of them are centrally located here in the main area, which faces the beach, and then there are also a few located near the spa area. The property offers 148 guest rooms and 40 suites, 188 rooms total, which is actually on the larger side compared to the other luxury hotels in the area. It's actually rare that a luxury hotel opens in this part of Costa Rica. It's actually been several years since there was a new opening, and this year alone, both the Ritz-Carlton and the Waldorf opened. Now, there we were departing the beautiful Ritz-Carlton Nikui, Ritz-Carlton Reserve there, farther up north. That still is my favorite property out of the three we stayed at, including this one, the Ritz, and the Andaz. So you definitely do not want to miss that review, as there's very few hotels in the world that could ever top that Ritz-Carlton. Now, we did about an hour drive, which our butler arranged for us, leaving the Ritz-Carlton, going all the way to the Waldorf for our last night. We were originally scheduled to spend 2 nights here at the Waldorf, but when we were at the Ritz, it was just so amazing. We extended our stay there by a night, so we ended up just staying here for 1 night at the end, and I'm very happy with our decision because 1 night here was more than enough. Now, when we arrived, the resort, was newly opened, so there were not a ton of guests staying yet, so it was a very personalized experience. When we arrived, they immediately came out to greet us. They right away helped us with our bags, unloaded us, and we were the only guests to check in at that time into their stunning lobby. The staff here was ready to welcome us as the Ritz had called ahead and let them know we were coming. Some of the staff here actually used to work at the Ritz-Carlton, which was very encouraging that they got to move around. We were greeted with a cold towel as well as an aluminum bottle of water as our welcome drink. More on that later. The lobby here is very stunning. It basically opens up right inside to the stunning ocean views in the distance, very high ceilings, and a very modern design. It's a typical check-in area with the check-in desks, so it's not like you check into your villa or room like some of the other more luxury exclusive properties. It really does set the tone here though for a really beautiful stay, just as you have this stunning view as well as the architecture and unique lighting right when you arrive and walk outside. This area is called the Terrace, and they even have a little mini bar here that offers a selection of champagne and sparkling wines, offering the stunning Pacific Ocean views and breathtaking sunsets. The check-in was just kind of like any other hotel. We did have the diamond status. They provided an upgrade. It's the same size room that we booked with the 2 beds on points. It was about 120,000 Hilton points, but it did have a better view. That was the upgrade. From the lobby, they then escorted us by golf cart all the way to our room. Now, the rooms are actually spread out in several different buildings. In my opinion, it seems more like an apartment complex. Each building has a lot of different rooms, and from there you basically can then take an elevator to your specific room level. Now, first thing before we actually got to our room is we got a brief tour of the property. So in the golf cart, we basically got to see all the grounds. So we just passed by 2 buildings, and then we have one of the other buildings here. From different areas of the resort, you can look out and see the pools. Now, the best building is definitely the one in the front. It has the better ocean views and better views of the pool. Otherwise, the buildings farther back don't really offer that great of a vantage point because the pools are so far in the distance as well as the ocean. We went by the spa and got a quick peek at the pool there and hot tubs, which are open to all guests, which is great. I later did get a tour of the spa, so you can definitely fast forward to watch that spa tour. Now we went further down to the end of the resort where they have some of the high top level suites kind of up on the higher cliffside. Then we finally went back up the hill to our building number 3, which is one of the better buildings right in the front. Now the landscaping here is all brand new, so a lot of the items are still growing in. Here it feels more just like a typical hotel with the luggage carts, hallways, elevators, so it definitely does not have that same resort-like feeling like the Andaz in Ritz-Carlton has. It feels almost as though like a city hotel was kind of placed in the jungle. Now here we have the rooms. Again, per my review, I really do love the wood tones and design. It's just they did kind of go a little cheap on that one wall. As well as all of the rooms basically look the same, and they're all right next to each other. So it's definitely not as exclusive, especially for the price point that they're asking. Rooms starting here at about $1,300 US per night. I honestly don't know who's paying that or who would, and how they're going to stay in business at those high rates, because that is even higher than the Andaz and right up there with the Ritz-Carlton, which in my opinion are both better resorts. I definitely do recommend using your Hilton points to stay here because the cash value for what you get is not that great. Now we decided to order room service for dinner because none of the restaurant options looked that crazy appealing to us. The price was actually pretty expensive. Just adding on chicken alone almost doubled the cost of the meals. And it was very shocking. So later on, they definitely took off that extra charge there for the chicken and made things right with the restaurant manager, which was excellent service recovery. But I feel like they definitely could adjust those in-room dining prices. Here we have the pools. I want to give you a full tour because this is what the resort is known for. So I definitely want to start here because that's probably what everyone is mostly interested in. So from our room, you can either take the long way down by asking for a golf cart and then going down these steps all the way down to the pool. Here's the iconic Waldorf Astoria clock that every single Waldorf Astoria in the world has one in a slightly different version. It's what they're known for. Now we took a shortcut through the playroom center, which takes you outside here to the pool area a lot faster. It's just so much more convenient than having to wait for a shuttle or walking down that huge hill to get here. The pools are cascading down towards the beach, and they're all pretty much the same temperature. Now, from the website or seeing pictures of this place for the first time, you might be amazed by all the pools, and it may look so relaxing. If you just like laying out by a pool all day and looking at them or being in them, that's fine. I personally found them a little boring, just because they are all the same temperature, and they're all kind of somewhat small. And also, like, everyone is going to be in this central area. So other than the other spa pool, there's not a ton of privacy. The hot tubs also were not that hot for my standards. They were more like kind of lukewarm or a little bit hot, but they definitely need to up the temperature on at least one of them to make it a true hot tub. Here's just some overall views of just the different pool areas. They also don't have a lot of like coverings, so if it rains, the water actually falls right through the covers over the cabanas, and there's really nowhere to get shelter from the rain out here. The pools, I am told, are open till about 10 p.m. There are some lifeguards on duty, and they're only there until about 7:30 p.m. Now, for families, I feel like these pools are going to be amazing. Kids are going to love them. They do have shallow bubbler pools. They have a pool there in the distance with a slide. So I feel like kids would definitely really enjoy this, but I feel like more for adults, it's just not as private and it does get boring really quick. It also, the views are not as great as Nikui, as in the Andaz that we stayed at. They were just kind of more subpar here because the pools are lower and you kind of have to look through the trees to kind of see a glimpse of the ocean. I also felt the pool area here was not as well put together. A lot of the materials felt cheap, including the entrances around the pool. The tiling in the pool is fine, but the white kind of walkway, or kind of the amount around the pool there, like there, could literally be at a most basic motel. It's extremely awkward material and it already looks like it's getting old and fading, and I just hate the texture on the feet. They definitely could have used a higher quality material. Now, just down from the pool areas, we do have the beach. The beach, you can just walk right on down. They do have kind of a area with some chairs, and then you can definitely just go right in the water. So it's kind of like in a little cove here, so that's really neat. You also then can walk down. This is kind of the top part that looks out over the beach, but down below here is where you would actually go out to the beach from the pools. Down here they do have one of the property's little dining venues with some seats, and then you can see here that the pools even continue along down here. Here's the seating area kind of right in front of the beach, so you can relax here with a good view of the beach or walk down. Vida here is by the poolside. It's the casual by the pool spot for drinks and light local bites while you're on the loungers between swims. They had just a lot of chairs here and cabanas set up directly in front of all the pools close to the beach. The setup here with the chairs and tables just seemed a little bit awkward. Maybe it was because no one was there, as well as the path here had a lot of leaves in it. I don't know, it just felt a little off. Next up is Peacock Alley. This is the brand's signature bar that I believe is at all Waldorf properties worldwide. Here it leans into Costa Rica's flavors with small plates like tostadas and empanadas and cocktails that nod to the local traditions. The bar here has both plenty of seating areas inside and outside. It kind of adds a different atmosphere because it's a completely different vibe and design in here compared to like the rest of the property. But I really appreciated the design. It felt very modern. This part did feel very luxurious. So many different details. Next up, we have the property's fine dining restaurant. La Finca here is located up more towards the lobby reception area, so you do have to get a golf cart to take you up that steep hill to arrive here. I found the place very beautifully designed. However, it is kind of a small space and all the tables are kind of squished together. There's not a lot of privacy that typical fine dining restaurants have. Here's a peek at the menu. The kitchen here blends modern techniques with Costa Rican ingredients like seafood, wagyu, different items like that. It's upscale but still grounded in place. Now continue with the restaurant section here. We're going to go back down to the pool area, kind of along here where the other restaurants are. We have the Copo y Cono, and this is basically like the ice cream counter. They have gelato, different ice creams with berries, and different toppings that you can choose from. So we definitely gave it a try. It was very good, but it's nice here because it's going to be a great treat while you're by the pool. Next up, we have Tico Tica. This is basically the main restaurant on property. This is the one open for both breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's kind of between fine dining and mid-scale. I really enjoyed it though. The interior design work here felt happy. It felt modern. It just felt really, really nice. We had an amazing breakfast experience. The staff here is top notch. The service here was absolutely perfect, especially for breakfast. I just can't go into detail enough about how amazing it was. Now, of course, the rest of the property did not inspire us as much as the other resorts we stayed at, but breakfast definitely made up for a lot of it. Here's the different seating areas. I love the design. You can sit both inside and outside. The vibe here was very relaxed with an open kitchen. It had plenty of natural light, which made it a really nice, comfortable place to be. They offer a lot of small continental buffet items for breakfast. They also have a breakfast menu. Now, if you have the gold or diamond status with Hilton, you do get 2 complimentary continental breakfasts, which includes all the items here. I also appreciated they did allow you to order specialty egg dishes as well, which includes things like an omelet, or if you want like specialty eggs made, you could also order those things in addition to the buffet complimentary. If you have extra guests, it will be an extra charge, but the buffet actually had here quite a few options compared to a lot of continental buffets in the US. I appreciated the service. There was always someone there to check in with us, clear our plates. Some of the people came over to just always ensure that we were having one of the best breakfasts. The food also was very tasty. It definitely made our stay extra special. Now I have something I just have to point out. Remember, this is a luxury resort. Now right outside from the restaurant, these are the main bathrooms. And I just have to show them to you. And I want you to tell me, does this feel luxury? It was just a very generic bathroom. It almost felt like I could be in an airport or something like that. I think they definitely could have utilized this space better, maybe added some plants outside, but the bathrooms just seemed very basic. Next up, we're going to head over to the spa. The spa does have its own pool here, which you can use, as well as a hot tub. This hot tub also was not as hot as I would expect hot tubs to be with hot tub standards. To the left there, you can see is all the treatment rooms. So while you're in the pool, you're actually looking at the treatment rooms. So it didn't offer a ton of privacy if you're like getting a treatment and the blinds are open. Here we are going into the spa. This definitely felt more like a city hotel spa because it was completely enclosed in here. It was very nicely designed. You have the reception desk here, some really nice lighting. They have a lot of items for purchase, but I wish it was more of like an open air concept, or at least where you could be able to like see outside more when you're in here. But there's just a lot of walls, concrete, and it just doesn't feel like you're in a tropical resort. It felt more like I was in like a city hotel. Here's the different areas where you can get ready. Now, keep in mind that these facilities are only available if you pay to use them. They are not complimentary for guests, which was extremely disappointing. For $95 day pass, you get access to the sauna, which I just showed you, the steam room here, and the outside jacuzzi. Now, this is very unfortunate because most other luxury properties, including the others we stayed at, the Andaz, the Ritz-Carlton Reserve, these facilities are included for all guests, and that is how it should be in my opinion. If you're already paying $1,200 to spend the night here, which I think is very expensive, those should be definitely included. Now, of course, if you're getting a treatment at the property, like a facial or things like that, you do get complimentary access to those. That was the Moon Waiting Lounge, so it does have some really unique features here. However, the air conditioning was on very cold, so it actually was a little bit uncomfortable. I did get a peek at one of the treatment rooms here. This is one of their specialty treatment rooms where they have like a design in the sand. So they perform a lot of different unique procedures here, which I thought was really unique. So it definitely is an option if you're staying, but it was definitely, in my personal opinion, not my favorite hotel spa I've ever seen. Again, I wish it was a more open layout concept. Here's one of the treatment rooms continuing on. You can even see from the bathtub, you can look out to the fitness center and the pool there that I showed you earlier, where I did mention about the privacy issue. Here we have the fitness studio, which is just right next to that big, large spa pool. This facility is very nice. The first time I arrived here, there actually was a gentleman who checked in on me, wanted to offer me like water or towels, which is great. I think there should always be someone here to help you. All the equipment was very modern. I was able to use the treadmills. Everything worked great. They have a lot of the free weights equipment. I love the lighting. I love the wood tones, the design. It was very spacious. So no flaws here with the fitness center. They also provide specialty like drinks like punch and lemon water. Here's a quick look over at the spa facility and pool with the 2 hot tubs and then kind of the swimming area. So it's definitely a better option than the huge pool where there's so many people. This is the Kids and Teens Club. It's a supervised hangout area that's set up like a game room with TVs, lounge sofas, and ping pong table. There's different games, so if you're here with your family, the kids are going to love the pools. They're also going to love that there's a game room here. It also was the easiest way to get from our room to walk through the game room to get to the pools. It's like a shortcut. They also have the kids area there. Now, I do need to touch on this because I feel like it is important. From the game room walking to the pools at night or to the other areas, you can barely see. A lot of the lighting here is not working. It's just unfortunate, but it could definitely be a tripping hazard. So I just need to touch on that does need to be fixed. Here's a view of the pools in the evening, just so you can see how everything looks. But it is a really beautiful lit property at night for the lights that are working. I also did want to touch back in our room. If you are not on the 4th floor in this building, you do usually have to take the elevator. And I just have to touch on this because luxury hotels, every detail should be amazing, including the elevators. But as you can see inside this elevator, it is extremely sad. They could have had wood paneling, they could have had something tropical. So I feel like that just left me very disappointed that there are those small details that were left out in the design of the property, like that flat wall in our room. Now, this is heading back up the hill to go check out. Now, we were only here one night, but honestly, one night was more than enough. Honestly, too long. I feel like I did everything there is to do here in just less than the one night. Versus at Nikui, the Ritz-Carlton Reserve, after 4 nights, I still had not even done everything that they have. While I have some critiques, overall the staff were extremely friendly. Checkout was flawless. They took our bags, they took us by golf cart to check out, and everyone was there to say goodbye to us. All right, now for the review of the Waldorf Astoria here in Costa Rica. It's brand new. I'm going to start with the room. Room overall, I'm going to give a 4 out of 5. Now for a luxury resort, the rooms definitely could be bigger. I also had to take points off because there is no automatic blinds. They are manual. Now they do have rainfall shower. The decor is very nice, but there also is just like that one flat wall, which takes up a lot of the space on the one side, and it is just so ugly. It just, for me, almost ruined the room. They definitely need to put like a picture there or maybe increase the wood. Also the rooms, like the balcony, it's nice that all the rooms have a balcony, but they're just kind of basic and you don't have a lot of privacy because everyone from the pool is looking up here. Or when you're in the pool, you don't have a lot of privacy because everyone from their balconies is looking at you, because these are like all the pools right here. So overall, and then also like it's see-through kind of looking into the bathrooms. So there's not a lot of privacy. So the room for me just didn't super do it. Like I love the decor. If they just would have changed a few things, it could have been so much better. Next up is going to be inspiration. Overall, how inspired was I by this hotel? That overall, I'm going to give a 4 out of 5. Now, the view up here is really nice because we're looking out over the islands, the pool. When you're in the pools, I feel like they're down a little bit too low. They have like a little bit of a view of the beach and the water, but not like where you can see all the islands like the Ritz-Carlton or other ones. Also, like the pools are not private. The spa also, that pool is okay. It's just, the resort, it just feels more of like a concrete jungle. It's not as tropical as I had hoped. So for me, it just wasn't as inspiring. It just kind of feels like a big box kind of luxury. It doesn't feel like super exclusive or super like unique in any way. It's just, you know, a whole bunch of guest rooms in these buildings. It feels almost like an apartment complex. Next up is going to be service. Service overall, I'm going to give a 4.5 out of 5. The staff are all really friendly. They have great, kind hearts. When we arrived, they were all there to greet us. So this is nothing against the staff and their service. They're all super friendly. It's just a few things that were a little bit disappointing. One thing, we were celebrating a graduation. I messaged them yesterday, a few hours before we left, about it, and there was nothing in the room or nothing like that. Also, like the welcome amenity in the room is just some regular fruit. Like we're in Costa Rica, I feel like it could be something more tropical. As well as like they give you like a welcome drink when you get here, but it's just a can of water. It's nothing tropical and you have to open it yourself. It just seemed a little sad for a welcome drink. But everyone here is just super friendly. It's just, yeah. So finally, value, what I return here. That overall, I'm gonna give a 3.5 out of 5. And that is because I probably will not come back. Honestly, we have been here now less than 24 hours and I've already had my fill. It was the complete opposite at the Ritz-Carlton. We were there 4 nights, and by the time we left yesterday, I hadn't even done everything. I didn't even see the speakeasy. Like, there's so many more amenities at the Ritz-Carlton. The pools are just so much more insane. It just, for me, was really overwhelming. Just wow. Here, checked in last night. I did all the pools. I did the fitness center, the adult pool there by the spa, got to see the spa, got to see the restaurants, the room. I'm done. I've literally done everything and I'm ready to leave. So one night here was just perfect. Now, a couple other things regarding the resort. I want to go over some of the positives. The amazing thing is you do get a butler with your stay. Ours has been amazing, super friendly, helpful. The WhatsApp chat is also great. They're really quick to respond. They are all friendly. Breakfast was perfect. The service at breakfast was flawless. Very quick to take away our trays and our food. The food was really good. The coffees, all included with the continental breakfast. And with the gold status, we did get 2 free complimentary breakfasts. I also like how they deliver to the rooms every night like a special snack or item. So last night was like chips and hummus. So that is really unique. Now for the cons, right at like 7 a.m. this morning, there were like weed whacking or blowing leaves right outside the building, which I'm pretty sure woke everybody up, which is just unacceptable at a luxury resort. People are here on vacation to sleep in, so that was disappointing. Not only the welcome drink, the fruit amenity, also the lighting by the pool. There were so many areas that were just completely dark. It's a huge tripping hazard. Maybe they weren't working, or some areas they haven't installed lights, but it just seemed off. They definitely need a lot more special lighting just to set the ambiance. Lighting is everything. And again, it just feels very concrete-y. Like the pools at the Ritz-Carlton, like the blue tiling went up and over. Here, the very top of all the pools is just this like cement thing that I don't think looks very nice. So it just kind of makes it feel a little bit more cheapy, but they are kind of all right here, the pools. So you're just kind of looking at everybody all day. And when it rains, there's not a lot of like awnings to like protect you from the rain. And some of them were like letting the water in. So that's my honest feedback. I'm very honest with my reviews because I really want you to know how I liked it and whatnot. But service is really nice. They're very friendly. They're going to take care of you. It's just, for me, the hard product just didn't do it for me. Definitely lacking. And we all felt that way a bit. So that's my honest review. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Be sure to subscribe because you won't want to miss my next review. Thank you so much for watching.